Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderland Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Of the Devil. Last time we were currently in the throes with two detectives trying to prove that Carlos is innocent, and thanks to the photo that they've given us, a very poor quality photo of a killer with a gun at the door. Where's the evidence? Where is it? There it is. We are now going to prove Carlos's innocence, and I don't know how that's going to happen, but Morgan's going to show us now, so let's go. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger, because the man in the photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting, and we know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall. That means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit. That's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from the north to the south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. Heartbreak. Oh, the Heartbreak murderer or something, right? That's what we... Man, I should keep a track of all these facts. Where are all the facts? Profiles, right. Heartbreak is the murderer. We don't know who the murderer is. His favourite colour is probably red. He hates getting caught and he likes killing. His reward is suspended due to influx of false reports. Zodiac sign, probably not into astrology, because he's a loser. That's really funny. This game is funny, guys. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You've played your cards too early, and now I can steal the part right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation, you're right about the prints, and this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. Why HK? Heartbreak. HK, that's weird. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing is... What are we seeing? Flat's girlfriend. 6th HK victim. No cams at the time of shooting, Flat may have known. Worthless ceramics, smashed by Flat's arm. What are we seeing? Oh, by the mirror. We're seeing a mirror behind him. We're seeing a mirror. Right? In the shop for 6+ weeks, Flat replaced right arm for work. So he's in the mirror? So that means he's his right arm? Perfect. That's brilliant. What is that? You trying the glass shards again? Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure, they came from a standing mirror. Game, set, and match. Is that how you say that? A mirror that, at the same time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window. But then, that would mean... At that angle from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks, and he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved that my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. They're fucked, man. That should be the end of it. Except it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, Detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary... My client's so-called confession was just a note to herself. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with those facts, you received photographic evidence at the exact moment of shooting, and instead of utilising said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb. standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. That's... He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit. That's the best you've got. Even a bare-bones prosthetic of the off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. A record you won't find, and he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of the violent crime calls for a full-spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it, minimum. So where Detective Reyes did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? There's a little eye. Well? Uh-oh. What's she doing? Any objections? Detective. God. Damn! It! She folded! Show me your hand, Flat. You're uncuffing me. In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now I gotta go call the DA. And tell her I made a mistake. Oh, wrong voice. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid. You should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney is a real tiger and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah. That's kind of you to say, Detective. But my work is its own reward. Huh, sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically you're free to go. Congrats, you get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay? But what do I do? What am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation into Heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements? No. That's not what Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer, it's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but... I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself to try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos. But it's my job to... No, I mean, thank you for not asking. Huh? For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. After all what? I did it. No! No, don't do this to me. The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place, easy to find. Hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain, unfurling toward an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom, only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor is its own kind of lowbrow appeal. 8:59 PM, June 4th, 2086. My god. My god. Bullet number 6 of 6. The gun's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but... whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untied gun for a fair bit of cash. But cash can't buy you peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark in here must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did you think I was a boyfriend back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? What did she just say then? Was she talking about... Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark. Must have only been... oh, okay. Okay. Did you think I was a boyfriend back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey. Yeah, did you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighbourhood. But I didn't see anything I could use as even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in the outdoor spaces, in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places usually full of trash. I can't believe this is crazy. But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organised. Is at least clean, organised, even. Is at least clean, organised, even, that's what that says. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the goddamn mirror, the stupid goddamn mirror. 5% crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. And for the final shot, there has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock over the urn. Tear into the sheets with my frustration and try to savour the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into my messy angle. At least it will be consistent. Wow, interesting. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what, I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... Heartbreak killer. Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All of the threads and breakdowns and the goddamn theory crafting? And all for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no. That's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... I want to see if I look at the profiles now. Ah, yep, it's changed and it's me. What do I like? High places, gambling and guns. Dislike nosy people, mud, headphones. Hobby, batting cages. Favourite dish, Mapo tofu. Ooh, that sounds good. Cannot carry a tune. Criminal defense attorney, that's interesting. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people will come up with something. That he got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me? I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I had just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savour it. I'm going home. The air's weighty tonight. Thick. Energised. A heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off, when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. 5:01 AM, June 5th, 2086. Sorry, use my left is still... That's okay. You can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation, and got in a bit after 11 PM. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, and did some stretching. Made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 AM, a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate, since it was so late and so urgent. I'd wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be able to be provided one. What happened over here? Terms. I haven't looked at any of these. Should I be looking at these? Does it matter? Gamble? A gambler with a system must be, to a greater extent, insane. Okay. We can not look at that, I think that's fine. I'd wagered. Maybe it's that. Is there a reason why I'd want to look at wagered? Does it matter if I don't look at wagered? I think it's fine. I think we're fine. I'd wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here, and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It'd have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes, more headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved in this case, this intimately, does have its risks. Hell, I might even overdone things here or there. I might have even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. Very clever. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously everything turned out rosy. And it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house? That's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too. Funny, I didn't even know her name. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just, I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died, death was instantaneous. Oh, death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee that she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have... Hang on. Carlos, talk properly. But I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me. Present evidence. Oh, I can't... Can I do this one? To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the Arc Data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it. Meds for a modder. Non-lethal dose present. Non-lethal doses present. What? What's this? What is that? Where did you find that? That pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky clasps too for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. She was doing your pills for you? She loved you. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died, even if they did. Feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. She loved you, Carlos. To my eyes, anyway. Show Carlos what the victim was found holding. I did it. I'm taking care of you, Carlos. "5:01 AM, June 5th, 2086. Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings, I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. The gun's in custody, there's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim, there won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. Oh, and no one will... Hang on. And no one will ever... Found you. District Attorney Rockford. What? What's this? Oh. Sorry, can I try that again? I'm so fried. By all means. Who's this? Councillor Morgan. Morning, noon or night, you're always so... put together. Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise? Aromatherapy? Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. What does that expression mean? Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court trying to prove a defendant's guilt. And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill a position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at her job. And hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What have they got you doing in this ungodly hour, Emma? Emma's going to be one that brings Morgan down, I think. Oh well, actually, I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Well then you must have been relieved, finding out that you won't have to go to a trial against me. No. What? Well then you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No, why would I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. So you're working with those detectives? Yeah, London and the new girl, Race? They'll be reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So Ray's told you that they'd have HK in custody, and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here. Hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? What's going on now? I mean, Carla's flat. A serial killer. The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks. She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon. But I can answer that any number of ways. It could have been flat. Stiff and unyieldy, fingers can't bend. Shows right-handed shooter, a lucky shot. Victim's blood on sleeve, no gunpowder found. Well, we know it couldn't have been. Well, I'll just throw one of these in. So this shows right-handed shooter. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Right. Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about, his dominant arm modded. With documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean. Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for the ballistics entry angles. And probably too heavy to not leave imprints. She knows her shit. She got all that from a glance. I need to be wary of this one. But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed out all of that. The minute you walked in here. Of course. Worst part is, she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative. It's not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, Right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology, based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. Heartbreak's MO. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it, he chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No. Not that I've found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. That's true. Hell. They kinda look like me. Is she baiting her? She's trying to get her to kill her. Do they? Sure. What, you don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. Interesting that she's using... Why is she saying Morgan like that? Why is she being weird? Emma, why are you being weird? You've got something catchy in mind. I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy. And their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullet to the gun, it's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake. Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you've said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary. I don't follow. This was the last bullet, the last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. That's exactly what we did as well. You make them sound like a child. Childish and cowardly, and two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tells you all of that. That? No. That part's just... takes one to know one. About profiling. So this profiling, it's some kind of investigative technique. The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent. Almost perfect. Highly intelligent, painstakingly organised. Is it painstakingly? I thought it was painstakingly. Painstakingly? I don't know. I think it's not painstakingly. Painstakingly, it's not that. And with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. A lone wolf. Educated, but all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in that metaphor, I would be the... Know what I mean? Definitely. And considering the marksmanship, the detective said the HK would have needed insider information on optics. So does that mean Heartbreak's in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police though, maybe secondary or tertiary. These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I don't do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how do they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta-statistics analysis? Probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays, chart out the dips in... Sorry. Technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. So to summarise, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type. In a city with an 8-digit population? Well, good luck. I don't need luck. I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city will be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreaks walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Fair enough. Woof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid. And detailed. I need to get out more. Or sleep more. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. Adversarial. Is that how you say that? Process? So no hard feelings, yeah? No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation, and the police will have moved on to the cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it. Never finishing, but never quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Episode 0, end. Wow, okay. Oh, is this another little bit? An android? Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while. For how long? I'm sorry, I don't know. There's no need to look that upset over it. My face barely moved. It may as well have been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. This friend of yours, they're trustworthy. Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on. It'll be fun. Really? Really. Educational, too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Wow, okay. Right, that was episode 1. No, chapter 0 of a full game. So let me know if you want me to get the next chapter of the game, which I think is out now, and we can play that on the channel. Art and art direction by Evil Little Bug. I thought the art was great. Programming by Patrick MCF. Brilliant programming. 3D modeling by Aaron Diaz. Good job, Aaron Diaz. Environments by Patrick MCF. Oh yeah, good job, Patrick. Aaron Diaz says good job as well. Written, directed, and developed by Brian Mulholland. I think this is a great game so far. I'm enjoying it. Volunteer play testing by Griston, Hugh J, Maxi, S Thumbut, Virtuous Varmint, Thomas Colamander, Wee, Xenos. Special thanks to Adrian, Colton, Lennox, Exumbran, Kilj, yep. Special thanks to yep. Full attributions available at ofthedevil.car.go. Made with love, Unity. Nanonovel.tween. A game by Nth Circle. Of the Devil episode 0. And he shall appear. To be continued. In. Oh. You're the smartest person I know, Morgan. When it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next.
I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised.
Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after, too.
Can't tell how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat sign-in bonus.
So that's not a lawyer job thing. You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too. Compared to the determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels won't stop spinning for anything.
We can't keep this very quiet for very long.
But it's 1,000,000 times more likely than the alternative. That heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing. Father said that you owed him.
I didn't do anything. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. When I take a job, I never half-ass it.
Of the Devil. Episode 1. An Ideal Mind. Alright, that's what's coming next. Let me know in the comments if you want it. I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye bye. Is this anything new? Is it anything new? Results. Let's see how I did. Let's see how I did. I think I did pretty poorly. There was a lot of things that happened that shouldn't have happened. A lot of wrong choices were made. Congratulations! You've finished episode 0 with 24 credit. You've also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. You also have 24 remaining store credits to spend on phone charms, and this is funny, and case colours, depending on the highest credit you've finished this episode with. Awesome. We are going to have a look at episode 1. If you want us to have a look at that, let me know in the comments, and that might come in the future. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Devil, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves. Bye.